At some point in your woodworking, you're going to come across a situation where you need to plane some material that's a little bit too thin for your planer. So what do? Well, if you're lucky, like me, you've got a drum sander. That's primarily the reason I have one, is to take care of thin stock like this. But there is a way to do it safely with the planer that involves just some scrap sheet goods that you have laying around the shop. Let me show you how to do it.
Hit it!
There isn't much to this sled. Just a 3/4 inch piece of MDF or plywood does the trick. Now, using thin scraps of solid stock, I make something of an L-shaped stop at one end and attach it with CA glue. Notice the orientation of the grain. This allows the surface to be planed safely. The rough sawn strip is dropped into place, and I use a small dab of CA glue at the front end to help secure it to the sled. This should help prevent the thin piece of stock from being sucked up into the planer. From there, I can take very light passes, bringing the strip down to my desired thickness. And because the MDF was sealed with shellac, the glue comes off pretty easily with a putty knife. So, super simple jig and great results. I mean, you really can't ask for anything better than this. Now, I don't know how thin you can go with this before this piece either gets sucked up or the glue that you have it attached with just doesn't work anymore. Maybe you just go so thin you start cutting into the plywood. But let's find out. All right, that is pretty darn thin, but admittedly, this is stacked in my favor here, and I'll tell you why. I actually just resealed the top surface here with a little bit of shellac, and that shellac is still a little bit tacky. So that tackiness is supporting this strip all the way across its length. If I didn't have that tackiness, I do not think we'd be able to do this. But that's pretty darn cool. Either way, I don't think I'd take this much below 1/8 of an inch, and most of the time you don't need strips any less than 1/8 of an inch anyway. But this was fun.